Hey everyone, welcome back. Dave in History for the Ages here. So, really cool topic, the Nile River. It's one of the more remarkable examples of how geography impacts civilization. So, I want to kind of go through some of the amazing elements of the Nile River here, just kind of a brief overview. So, obviously, it's going to impact everything, right? I tell my students geography is not about just memorizing state capitals. When you think of the Nile River, it impacts their food, obviously fish, and fertilizes the land, transportation, it helps with political unification, and impacts religion. So one thing that's really interesting about the Nile River is the way it flows. It flows from the south to the north, right? It flows from the south to the north as opposed to north to south. And that's why if you look at the map, Lower Egypt's in the north and Upper Egypt's in the south. It kind of sounds a little bit weird, but it actually makes a lot of sense. So the river flows from the south to the north. Very often the wind currents are going from the north to the south. So what does that mean? If you're living along ancient Egypt and you're these various people there, you can very easily navigate up and down, north, south. It just moves around like a freeway back and forth and helps unite the people living in ancient Egypt. So that's one reason you have an Egypt civilization that lasts for such a long time period. They're easily united. The river, of course, was also very predictable. They knew exactly when the river was going to overflow its banks, when it was going to fertilize the land. There would be a star called Sirius that would appear, and then that was an indication, hey, the Nile River is about to overflow its banks. And so, think of the advantage that gives you. You know when to crop, you know when to harvest, and you have a steady agriculture in this early civilization. In fact, it was so predictable that the pharaohs would even use this to show their power. The pharaohs would kind of use the Nile as a form of almost PR to show them, like, I am the pharaoh and I am bringing water to the people and all of that. And of course, it impacts their religion. We have hymns, like there's a famous hymn called the Hymn of the Nile. And if you read the Hymn of the Nile, I have something my students do, it praises it so dramatically. So one thing is all these things it gives, and I have one more remarkable image to show you on how important the Nile River is. Check this out. This is a satellite picture of the Earth at night. And what you see today is basically 90+% of the population of Egypt live along the Nile River. Those are all city lights. If you haven't watched my video on the Earth at night, I mentioned it in that video as well. Really cool video. You could watch it here if you want. But it just shows you how important the Nile River is. So I hope you found that interesting. Thank you for watching. Everyone have a great day. That's my little daughter there saying bye to everybody. Thank you.